A Biology Organization Guide. Chapter 1. A Biology Organization Guide 1. Biology Organizations 1. IBS.org, American Institute of Biological Sciences. ASM.org, American Society for Microbiology. ASBB.org, American Society of Plant Physiologists. BIO.org, Biotechnology Industry Organization. PhaseB.org, Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology. NABT.org, National Association of Biology Teachers. SEBM.org, Society for Experimental Biology and Medicine. WABIO.com, Washington Biotechnology Biomedical Association. Alliance for Engineering in Medicine. Biology. 1101 Connecticut Avenue. NW. Number 700. Washington, D.C. 20036. American Association of Pharmaceutical Scientists. 1650 King St. Number 200. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. AAPS.org. American Institute of Biological Sciences. 1444 I St. N.W. Number 200. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-628-1500. Fax, 202-628-1509. IBS.org. IBS.org/careers. American Physiological Society. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814. PhaseB.org/APS. Anatomy, Biology, etc. American Society for Horticultural Science. 701 N. St. Asaph St. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. American Association of Zoological Parks. Aquariums. Ogles Bay, PK, RT 88. Wheeling, West Virginia 26003. 304-242-2160. Monthly, Communiqué Magazine. American Association for Laboratory Animal Science. 70 Timber Creek Drive. Number 5. Cordova, Tennessee 38018. 901-754-8620. American Society for Microbiology. 1325 Massachusetts Avenue. NW. Washington, D.C. 20005. ASMSA.org. American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814-3996. 301-530-7145. Fax, 301-571-1824. ASBMB@asbmb.phaseb.org. phaseb.org/ASBMB. American Society for Cell Biology. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814-3992. 301-530-7153. Fax, 301-530-7139. ASCBinfo@ascb.org. ASCB.org. American Society of Ichthyologists. Herpetologists. Department of Biological Sciences. College of Arts Sciences. Florida International U. Miami, Florida 33181. Fax, 305-919-5964. utexas.edu/departments/acih/pubs/pubs.html. American Society of Microbiology. 1752 N. St. N.W. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-942-9317. Fax, 202-942-9329. ASMSA.org. Association of Systematics Collections. 1725 K. St. N.W. Number 601. Washington, D.C. 20006-1401. 202-835-9050. Fax, 202-835-7334. ASC@askll.org. askll.org. Booklet Careers in Biological Systematics. Biotechnology Industry Organization. 1625 K St. N.W. Number 1100. Washington, D.C. 20006. bio.org. Biomedical Engineering Society. POG 2399. Culver City, California 90230. Entomological Society of America. 9301 Annapolis Road. Langham, Maryland 20706-3115. 301-731-4535. Fax, 301-731-4538. entsoc.org. Study of Insects. Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814-3998. 301-571-1825. Fax, 301-530-7079. society@genetics.phasb.org. phasb.org. phasb.org/genetics. Job Placement Service. Mycological Society of America. POG 19687. New Orleans, Louisiana 70179. 504-286-4364. Fax, 504-286-4367. aaron.utoronto.ca/w3msa. Society for Integrative and Comparative Biology. 1313 Dolly Madison Boulevard. Number 402. McLean, Virginia 22101-3926. 703-790-1745. Fax, 703-790-2672. sickbee.org. Weed Science Society of America. POG 1897. Lawrence, Kansas 66044-8897. 800-627-0629. Fax, 913-843-1274. uiuc.edu/ph/www/WSSA. Biology Organizations 2. nabt.org, National Association of Biology Teachers. zoo.utoronto.ca/able, Association for Biology Laboratory Education. ibes.org, American Institute of Biological Sciences, Resources for Teachers and Faculty. asmasa.org/edusrc/edu3.htm, American Society for Microbiology, Resources for Teachers and Faculty. nabt.org, National Association of Biology Teachers. zoo.utoronto.ca/able, Association for Biology Laboratory Education. ibes.org, American Institute of Biological Sciences, Resources for Teachers and Faculty. asmasa.org/edusrc/edu3.htm, American Society for Microbiology, Resources for Teachers and Faculty. Biology Organizations 3. nabt.org, National Association of Biology Teachers. zoo.utoronto.ca/able, Association for Biology Laboratory Education. ibes.org, American Institute of Biological Sciences, Resources for Teachers and Faculty. asmasa.org/edusrc/edu3.htm, American Society for Microbiology, Resources for Teachers and Faculty. ibes.org, American Institute of Biological Sciences. asm.org, American Society for Microbiology. asbb.org, American Society of Plant Physiologists. bio.org, Biotechnology Industry Organization. phaseb.org, Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology. nabt.org, National Association of Biology Teachers. sebm.org, Society for Experimental Biology and Medicine. wabio.com, Washington Biotechnology Biomedical Association. Alliance for Engineering in Medicine. Biology. 1101 Connecticut Avenue. NW. Number 700. Washington, D.C. 20036. American Association of Pharmaceutical Scientists. 1650 King St. Number 200. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. AAPS.org. American Institute of Biological Sciences. 1444 I St. N.W. Number 200. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-628-1500. Fax, 202-628-1509. ibs.org. ibs.org/careers. American Physiological Society. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814. phaseb.org/APS. Anatomy, Biology, etc. American Society for Horticultural Science. 701 N. St. Asaph St. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. American Association of Zoological Parks. Aquariums. Oglass Bay, PK, RT 88. Wheeling, West Virginia 26003. 304-242-2160. Monthly, Communique Magazine. American Association for Laboratory Animal Science. 70 Timber Creek Drive. Number 5. Cordova, Tennessee 38018. 901-754-8620. American Society for Microbiology. 1325 Massachusetts Avenue. NW. Washington, D.C. 20005. asmasa.org. American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814-3996. 301-530-7145. Fax, 301-571-1824. asbmb@asbmb.phaseb.org. phaseb.org/asbmb. American Society for Cell Biology. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814-3992. 301-530-7153. Fax, 301-530-7139. ascbinfo@ascb.org. ascb.org. American Society of Ichthyologists. Herpetologists. Department of Biological Sciences. College of Arts Sciences. Florida International U. Miami, Florida 33181. Fax, 305-919-5964. utexas.edu/departments/acih/pubs/pubs.html. American Society of Microbiology. 1752 N. St. N.W. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-942-9317. Fax, 202-942-9329. asmasa.org. Association of Systematics Collections. 1725 K. St. N.W. Number 601. Washington, D.C. 20006-1401. 202-835-9050. Fax, 202-835-7334. asc@askll.org. askll.org. Booklet Careers in Biological Systematics. Biotechnology Industry Organization 1625 K St. N.W. Number 1100. Washington, D.C. 20006. bio.org. Biomedical Engineering Society. POG 2399. Culver City, California 90230. Entomological Society of America. 9301 Annapolis Road. Langham, Maryland 20706-3115. 301-731-4535. Fax 301-731-4538. entsoc.org. Study of Insects. Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology. 9650 Rockville Pike. Bethesda, Maryland 20814-3998. 301-571-1825. Fax 301-530-7079. society@genetics.phasb.org. phasb.org. phasb.org/genetics. Job Placement Service. Mycological Society of America. POG 19687. New Orleans, Louisiana 70179. 504-286-4364. Fax 504-286-4367. aaron.utoronto.ca/w3msa. Society for Integrative and Comparative Biology. 1313 Dolly Madison Boulevard. Number 402. McLean, Virginia 22101-3926. 703-790-1745. Fax 703-790-2672. sickbee.org. Weed Science Society of America. POG 1897. Lawrence, Kansas 66044-8897. 800-627-0629. Fax 913-843-1274. uiuc.edu/ph/www/wssa. Chapter 2. A Biology Organization Guide to Bioethics Professional Associations. AAAS.org/DOSER, AAAS American Association for the Advancement of Science. ASBH.org, American Society for Bioethics and Humanities. eubios.info/aba.hdm, Asian Bioethics Association. eubios.info/aba.hdm. bio.org, Biotechnology Industry Organization, Bio. bioethics.upenn.edu, the Center for Bioethics, University of Pennsylvania. practicalbioethics.org, the Center for Practical Bioethics. thehastingcenter.org, the Hastings Center. ncbcenter.org, the National Catholic Bioethics Center. genome.gov/10001744, the National Human Genome Research Institute. neuroethicssociety.org, the Neuroethics Society. nhs.nih.gov/research/resources/bioethics, NIEH. NIH. en.unesco.org, UNESCO. who.in/ethics/topics/n, World Health Organization. Biological Science Societies and Organizations. Fisheries.org. Anatomy.org, American Association of Anatomists. os.com, OS, American Association of Clinical Endocrinologists. aafs.org, AAFS, American Academy of Forensic Science. AAI, American Association of Immunologists. aazk.org, AAZK, American Association of Zookeepers, Inc. web.missouri.edu/ag www/entomology/index.html, ABFE, American Board of Forensic Entomology. zoo.toronto.edu/able, Association for Biology Laboratory Education. abridgedf.org, ABRF, Association of Biomolecular Resource Facilities. etrite.org, ADA, American Dietetic Association. Fisheries.org, AFS, American Fisheries Society. Animalbehavior.org/ABS, ABS, Animal Behavior Society. IBS.org, AIBS, American Institute of Biological Sciences. medical-illustrators.org, AMI, Association of Medical Illustrators. np.org, ANDP, Association of Neuroscience Departments and Programs. mppsoc.org, APS, American Peptide Society. the-aps.org, APS, American Physiological. apsnet.org, APS, American Phytopathological. agronomy.org, ASA, American Society of Agronomy. ausis.org, AUSIS, American Society of Animal Science. asbh.org, ASBH, American Society for Bioethics and Humanities. asbmb.org, ASBM, American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. asbmr.org, ASBMR, American Society for Bone and Mineral Research. ascb.org, ASCB, American Society for Cell Biology. asci-jci.org, ASI, American Society for Clinical Investigation. ascls.org, ASCLS, American Society for Clinical Laboratory Science. ascp.org, ASCP, American Society of Clinical Pathologists. phaseb.org/genetics/ashg/ashgmenu.htm, ASHG, American Society of Human Genetics. ashes.org, ASHS, American Society for Horticultural Science. ASIH, American Society of Ichthyologists and Herpetologists. acip.org, ASIP, American Society for Investigative Pathology. aslo.org, ASLO, American Society of Limnology and Oceanography. mammalsociety.org, ASM, American Society of Mammalogists. asmisa.org, ASM, American Society for Microbiology. phaseb.org/ASNS, ASNS, American Society for Nutritional Sciences. museum.unl.edu/ASP, ASP, American Society of Parasitologists. pol-us.net, ASP, American Society for Photobiology. aspt.org, ASPT, American Society for Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics. asbb.org, ASPB, American Society of Plant Biologists. sysbot.org, ASPT, American Society of Plant Taxonomists. mcw.edu/ASV, ASV, American Society for Virology. aza.org, AZA, American Zoo and Aquarium. bio.org/welcome.html, bio, Biotechnology Industry Organization. bmes.org, BMES, Biomedical Engineering Society. biophysics.org, Biophysical Society. botany.org, BSA, Botanical Society of America. endo-society.org, ES, the Endocrine. esa.org, ESA, Ecological Society of. entsoc.org, ESA, Entomological Society of. genetics-gsa.org, GSA, Genetics Society of America. mcbi.org, MCBI, Marine Conservation Biology. msa.microscopy.com, MSA, Microscopy Society of America. aaron.utoronto.ca/w3msa, MSA, Mycological. natlarb.com, NA, National Arborist. nabt.org, NABT, National Association of Biology Teachers. NASW.org, NASW, National Association of Science Writers. NationalGeographic.com, NGS, National Geographic Society. NSCAlliance.org, NSC Alliance, Natural Science Collections Alliance. NSGC.org, NSGC, National Society of Genetic Counselors. NSTA.org, NSTA, National Science Teachers. phaseb.org/protein, the protein. PSAalgae.org, PSA, Phycological Society of. SAFnet.org, SAF, Society of American Foresters. Conbio.net/SCB, SCB, Society for Conservation Biology. sdb.bio.purdue.edu/index.html, SDB, Society for Developmental Biology. SEJ.org, SEJ, Society of Environmental Journalists. SER.org, SER, Society for Ecological Restoration. SFN.org, SFN, Society for Neuroscience. SICB.org, SICB, Society for Integrative and Comparative Biology. SIMHQ.org, SIM, Society for Industrial. SIPweb.org, SIP, Society for Invertebrate Pathology. SMB.org, SMB, Society for Mathematical Biology. MarineMammalogy.org, SMM, Society for Marine Mammalogy. ugans.edu/SSAR, SSAR, Society for the Study of Amphibians and Reptiles. ssr.org/ssr/ssr.htm, SSR, Society for the Study of Reproduction. stc.org, STC, Society for Technical Communication. sws.org, SWS, Society of Wetland Scientists. Teratology.org, Teratology Society. Wildlife.org, the Wildlife Society. UK Pharmaceutical and Biotechnology Organizations. abpi.org.uk, Association of the British Pharmaceutical Industry. acdm.org.uk, Association for Clinical Data Management. acmedci.ac.uk, Academy of Medical Sciences. Bioindustry.org, Bioindustry Association. Biochemistry.org, Biochemical Society. Societyofbiology.org, Society of Biology. bps.ac.uk, British Pharmacological Society. topra.org, the Organization for Professionals in Regulatory Affairs. icr-global.org, Institute of Clinical Research. ukcrc.org, UK Clinical Research Collaboration. ibms.org, Institute of Biomedical Science. fpa.eu, European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Associations. rsc.org, Royal Society of Chemistry. ukspa.org.uk, UK Science Parks Association. ifpma.org, International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturers and Associations. acs.org, American Chemical Society. phrma.org, Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America. Chapter 3. General Biology and Environment Associations, Organizations, and Societies. General Biology and Environment Associations, Organizations, and Societies. afgc.org, American Forage and Grassland Council. ibs.org, American Institute of Biological Sciences, AIBS. asbh.org, American Society for Bioethics and Humanities, ASBH. amnat.org, American Society of Naturalists. anaerobe.org, Anaerobe Society of the Americas. onzo.org.uk, Ashmolean Natural History Society of Oxfordshire, ANSO. probio.be, Association des Professeurs de Biologie, Association of Biology Teachers, Belgium, in French, with some Dutch and English, ProBio. aab.org.uk, Association of Applied Biologists, OB. epub.org, Association of College and University Biology Educators, ACUBE. ARI.org, Association of Environmental and Resource Economists, AERE. iBiol.org.au, Australian Institute of Biology, IB. BMES.org, Biomedical Engineering Society, BMES. BELS.org, Board of Editors in the Life Sciences, BELS. BenHS.org.uk, British Entomology and Natural History Society, BENS. Bioethics.ca, Canadian Bioethics Society, Société Canadienne de Bioéthique, in English and French, CBS, SCB. CFBS.org, Canadian Federation of Biological Societies, Fédération Canadienne des Sociétés de Biologie, in English, CFBS, FCSB. CSEB-SCBE.org, Canadian Society of Environmental Biologists, Société Canadienne des Biologistes de l'Environnement, in English, CSEB, SCBE. wisc.edu/cbe/cells, Coalition for Education in the Life Sciences, CELS. Biologists.com, Company of Biologists, COB. dgbmt.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Biomedizinische Technik im VDE, German Association of Biomedical Engineering, in German. The DGBMT is a special society within the Verband der Elektrotechnik Electronic Informationstechnik, VDE, DGBMT. GESCHICHTE-DER-BIOLOGIE.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Geschichte und Theorie der Biologie, German Society for the History and Theory of Biology, in German, DGGTB. Phytomedizin.org, Deutsche Phytomedizinische Gesellschaft, German Phytomedical Society, in German and English. The Society for Plant Pathology, Applied Entomology and Weed Sciences in Germany. Elus.ee, Eesti Looduse Uurigate Selts, Estonian Naturalists Society, covers anthropology, biology, environmental sciences and earth sciences. EMS-US.org, Environmental Mutagen Society, EMS. European-Biologists.org, European Countries Biologists Association, in English, ECBA. ESMTB.org, European Society for Mathematical and Theoretical Biology, in English, ESMTB. FESB.org.br, Fédération de Sociétés de Biologie Expérimentale, Federation of Societies of Experimental Biology, Brazil, in Portuguese, FESBE. FASB.org, Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology, FASEB. FBA.org.uk, Freshwater Biological Association, FBA. Geron.org, Gerontological Society of America. GFBS-HOME.de, Gesellschaft für Biologische Systematik, Society for Biological Systematics, in German, GFBS. IOB.org, Institute of Biology, IOB. IAVS.org, International Association for Vegetation Science, Association Internationale pour l'étude de la végétation, Internationale Vereinigung für Vegetationskunde, in English, IAVS. IAEMS.org.nz, International Association of Environmental Mutagen Societies, IEMS. TIBS.org, International Biometric Society, an international society devoted to the mathematical and statistical aspects of biology, IBS. IFMB.org, International Federation for Medical and Biological Engineering, IFMBE. fit.edu/acaders/math/ifna, International Federation of Nonlinear Analysts. ISACB.org, International Society for Applied Cardiovascular Biology, ISACB. Ecosystemhealth.org, International Society for Ecosystem Health. A key mission of ISEH is to encourage the understanding of the critical linkages between human activity, ecological change, and health, ISEH. magazine.bch.umontreal.ca/iscp/iscp.html, International Society for Evolutionary Protistology, Taxonomy, Phylogeny, and Evolution of Protists, those eukaryotic organisms that cannot be placed among the green plants, multicellular animals, or mycelial, non-zoosporic fungi, ISEP. evolution.antharo.universityie.ac.at/ishi.html, International Society for Human Ethology, ISHE. neuroethology.org, International Society for Neuroethology. biometeorology.org, International Society of Biometeorology. Biometeorology is the study of interactions between living organisms and the atmospheric environment, ISB. IUCN.org, International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, also known as World Conservation Union. IUBS.org, International Union of Biological Sciences, Union Internationale des Sciences Biologiques, IUBS, UISB. KOSOMBE.or.kr. Korea Society of Medical and Biological Engineering, in Korean, KOSOMBE. KOWBS.or.kr. Korean Association of Biological Sciences, in Korean, KOBS. Linnean.org, Linnean Society of London, LSL. Microscopy.org.za, Microscopy Society of Southern Africa. MEPSA.org, Mutagenesis and Experimental Pathology Society of Australasia, MEPSA. NABT.org, National Association of Biology Teachers, NABT. NSCalliance.org, Natural Science Collections Alliance, NSCA. NIBI.nl, Netherlands Instituut voor Biologie, Dutch Institute for Biology, in Dutch. NIBI. BIO.no, Norsk Biologforening, Norwegian Biological Association, in Norwegian. Benthos.org, North American Benthological Society, NABS. NAVBO.org, North American Vascular Biology Organization, NAVBO. Ordembiologos.pt, Ordem dos Biólogos, Order of Biologists, in Portuguese. Based in Portugal, OB. OEGBMT.at, Österreichische Gesellschaft für Biomedizinische Technik, Austrian Society for Biomedical Engineering, in German, OGBMT. PA.org, Pan American Aerobiology Association. Aerobiology studies the impact that atmospheric particles of biological origin, such as pollen, have on human health and agriculture. These impacts include health problems like allergies and asthma, PAAA. PEV.gr. Panhellenia in OEC Biologon, Panhellenic Union of Biologists, in Greek. pathsoc.org.uk, Pathological Society of Great Britain and Ireland, SGBI. sgpbf.ch, Schweizerische Gesellschaft für Photogrammetrie, Bild Analyse und sag.org.ar, Sociedad de Gerontologia y Geriatria, Argentine Society of Gerontology and Geriatrics, in Spanish, SAG. Biologiachile.cl, Sociedad de Biología de Chile, Society of Biology of Chile, in Spanish, SBCH. SIBI.org, Sociedad Internacional de Bioética, International Society of Bioethics, Société Internationale de la Bioéthique, in Spanish and English, SIBI. SBEB.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Engenharia Biomédica, Brazilian Society of Biomedical Engineering, in Portuguese, SBEB. Société de Biologie.com, Société de Biologie, in French. sfbc.asso.fr, Société Française de Biologie Clinique, French Society of Clinical Biology, in French, SFBC. perso.wanadoo.fr/Linny Northeast-Bordeaux, Société Linnéenne de Bordeaux, Linnean Society of Bordeaux. SLB. linnenene-lyon.org, Société Linnéenne de Lyon, Linnean Society of Lyon, in French, SLL. linneenene-amines.org, Société Linnéenne Nord-Picardie, Linnéenne Société Nord-Picardie, in French, SLNP. Philomathique.org, Société Philomathique de Paris, Philomathic Society of Paris, in French. SDBonline.org, Society for Developmental Biology, SDB. scbiology.com, Society for Experimental Biology, SEB. sebm.org, Society for Experimental Biology and Medicine, SEBM. sivb.org, Society for In Vitro Biology, SIVB. sicb.org, Society for Integrative and Comparative Biology, SICB. cipweb.org, Society for Invertebrate Pathology, concerned with the study of the pathology of invertebrates, including its application to pest control, SIP. smb.org, Society for Mathematical Biology, SMB. rangelands.org, Society for Range Management, SRM. srbr.org, Society for Research on Biological Rhythms, SRBR. sqab.psychology.org, Society for the Quantitative Analyses of Behavior, Society for Quantitative Analyses of Behavior, SQAB. svmb.org, Society for Vascular Medicine and Biology, SVMB. sasb.org.au, Society of Australian Systematic Biologists, SASB. aerobiology.ch, Swiss Society of Aerobiology, in English. Aerobiology is the science of airborne biological organisms, viable or non-viable, of their origin, transport, and deposition in relation to meteorological conditions and their impact on human beings, animals or plants. sysdas.org, Systematics Association, based in the UK. udbio.de, Union Deutscher Biologischer Gesellschaften, Union of German Biological Societies, in German, UDBio. vdbiol.de, Verband Deutscher Biologen und Biowissenschaftlicher Fachgesellschaften, Federation of German Biologists and Bioscience Societies, in German, VDBiol. Wetterauische Gesellschaft.de, Wetterauische Gesellschaft für die Gesamtnaturkunde zu Hanau, Wetterau Society for General Biology in Hanau, in German. Wildlife.org, Wildlife Society, also known as the Wildlife Society. The association of wildlife professionals, dedicated to excellence in wildlife stewardship through science and education. Ecology is the primary scientific discipline of the wildlife profession, TWS. Cladistics.org, Willy Hennig Society, concerned with an approach to biological phylogeny and systematics known as cladistic classification, which was promoted by Willy Hennig, WHS. Biochemistry associations, organizations, and societies. chemsoc.org/societies/society.htm, National Chemistry Societies, maintained by the Royal Society of Chemistry. liv.ac.uk/chemistry/links/others/ocs.html, Other Chemical Societies, maintained by Michael Barker of the Chemistry Department of the University of Liverpool. aacc.org, American Association for Clinical Chemistry, AACC. mppsoc.org, American Peptide Society. asbmb.org, American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, ASBM. asneurochem.org, American Society for Neurochemistry, ASN. apfcb.org, Asian and Pacific Federation of Clinical Biochemistry, in English, APFCB. abridgedf.org, Association of Biomolecular Resource Facilities, ABRF. acb.org.uk, Association of Clinical Biochemists, ACB. aacb.asn.au, Australasian Association of Clinical Biochemists, AACB. biochemsoc.org.uk, Biochemical Society, BS. biochemiran.com, Biochemical Society of the Islamic Republic of Iran, in Persian and English, BSI. biochem.or.kr, Biochemical Society of the Republic of Korea, in Korean and English, BSRK. Biochemy.org, Biochemisk Forning, Danish Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, in Danish and English, BF, DSBMB. CSBMCB.ca, Canadian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular and Cell Biology, Société Canadienne de Biochimie et de Biologie Moléculaire et Cellulaire, in English and French, CSBMCB, SCBBMC. CSCC.ca, Canadian Society of Clinical Chemists, Société Canadienne des Clinico-Chimistes, in English, CSCC, SCCC. FEBS.org, Federation of European Biochemical Societies, FEBS. GBM-ONLINE.de, Gesellschaft für Biochemie und Molekularbiologie, Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, in German and English, GBM. Histochemicalsociety.org, Histochemical Society, HS. HDMB.hr, Hrvatsko Dru and No. 353, Tivo Medicinske Biochemie era, Croatian Society of Medical Biochemists, in Serbo-Croatian and English, HDMB. IFCC.org, International Federation of Clinical Chemistry and Laboratory Medicine, in English, IFCC. IFSHC.org, International Federation of Societies for Histochemistry and Cytochemistry, IFSHC. Neurochem.org, International Society for Neurochemistry, ISN. IUBMB.org, International Union of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, IUBM. OEGKC.at, Österreichische Gesellschaft für Klinische Chemie, Austrian Society for Clinical Chemistry, in German, OGKC. ppsg.org.uk, Protein and Peptide Science Group, an interest group of the UK Biochemical Society and the Royal Society of Chemistry, PPSG. Proteinsociety.org, Protein Society. sacb.org.sg, Singapore Association of Clinical Biochemists, in English, SACB. sciB.org.ar, Sociedad Argentina de Investigación Bioquímica y Biología Molecular, Argentine Society for Biochemical and Molecular Biology Research, in Spanish, SAIB. SCQC.es, Sociedad Española de Bioquímica Clínica y Patología Molecular, Spanish Society of Clinical Biochemistry and Molecular Pathology, in Spanish, SEQC. SBAC.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Análises Clínicas, Brazilian Society of Clinical Analyses, in Portuguese, SBAC. SBBQ.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Bioquímica e Biologia Molecular, Brazilian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, in Portuguese and English, SBBQ. Cibioc.it, Société Italiana di Biochimica Clinica e Biologia Molecolare Clinica, Italian Society of Clinical Biochemistry and Clinical Molecular Biology, in Italian and English, Cibioc. Biochimica.it, Société Italiana di Biochimica e Biologia Molecolare, Italian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, in Italian. sbsonline.org, Society for Biomolecular Screening, concerned with discovering new pharmaceuticals using screening techniques, SBS. scem.org.uk, Society for the Study of Inborn Errors of Metabolism, SEAM. Teratology.org, Teratology Society. Chapter 4. Biology Subfield Organizations. Agriculture Associations, Organizations, and Societies. anavi.org.ar, Academia Nacional de Agronomía y Veterinaria, National Academy of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Argentina, in Spanish, ANAV. academie-agriculture.fr, Académie d'Agriculture de la France, Academy of Agriculture of France, in French and English, AAF. Georgophily.it, Accademia dei Georgophili, Academy of Agriculturalists, in Italian. Concerned with agriculture, including agricultural economics. web.tiscalinet.it/accagri, Accademia di Agricoltura di Torino, Academy of Agriculture of Turin, in Italian and English, AAT. accademia-agricoltura.it, Accademia Nazionale di Agricoltura, National Academy of Agriculture, in Italian. aic.ca, Agricultural Institute of Canada. ala.org.uk, Agricultural Law Association. aaea.org, American Agricultural Economics Association, AAEA. ageditors.com, American Agricultural Editors Association. adsa.org, American Dairy Science Association, ADSA. apsnet.org, American Phytopathological Society. ascv.org, American Society for Enology and Viticulture, devoted to the sciences of winemaking and grape growing, ASEV. ashes.org, American Society for Horticultural Science, ASHS. agronomy.org, American Society of Agronomy. ausis.org, American Society of Animal Science, AUSIS. aeda.com.ar, Asociación Argentina de Agrometeorología, Argentine Asociación of Agrometeorology, in Spanish, AADA. aeaarboricultura.com, Asociación Española de Arboricultura, Spanish Association of Arboriculture, in Spanish. aru.org.uy, Asociación Rural del Uruguay, Rural Association of Uruguay, concerned with agriculture. In Spanish and English, ARU. AAIE.net, Association of Applied Insect Ecologists, Association of Applied IPM Ecologists. The association is concerned with effective pest control with a minimum impact to the environment, crop, or people. IPM means Integrated Pest Management, AAIE. Agrometeorologia.it, Associazione Italiana di Agrometeorologia, Italian Agrometeorological Association, in Italian, AIAM. AIAST.com.au, Australian Institute of Agricultural Science and Technology, AIST. AIH.org.au, Australian Institute of Horticulture, AIH. AUSHS.org.au, Australian Society for Horticultural Science, OSHS. ASVO.com.au, Australian Society of Viticulture and Oenology, devoted to the sciences of grape growing and winemaking, ASVO. BOSS.org.uk, British Agricultural History Society, BAHS. CSHS.ca, Canadian Society for Horticultural Science, Société Canadienne de Sciences Horticoles, in English, CSHS, SCSH. Agronomycanada.com, Canadian Society of Agronomy, Société Canadienne d'Agronomie, in English, CSA, SCA. CSAS.net, Canadian Society of Animal Science, Société Canadienne de Sciences Animales, in English, CSAS, SCSA. COSV.cz, Česká akademie zemědělských VOD, Czech Academy of Agricultural Sciences, in Czech and English, CAZV. CAST-SCIENCE.org, Council for Agricultural Science and Technology. Crops.org, Crop Science Society of America. Gartenbauwissenschaft.org, Deutsche Gartenbauwissenschaftliche Gesellschaft, German Society for Horticultural Science, in German. DLG.org, Deutsche Landwirtschaftsgesellschaft, German Agricultural Society, in German and English, DLG. EAAE.org, European Association of Agricultural Economists, in English. ESAGR.org, European Society for Agronomy, ESA. EWRS.org, European Weed Research Society, Euro and Almel, ist Gesellschaft für Herbologie, Société Européenne de Malherbologie, in English, EWRS. FAS.org, Federation of Animal Science Societies, FAS. Horticulture.org.uk, Institute of Horticulture, IOH. IAALD.org, International Association of Agricultural Information Specialists, IALD. FIL-IDF.org, International Dairy Federation, Fédération Internationale de la Dairy, Fédération Internationale de Lecheria, Internationaler Milkwirtschaftverband, in English, IDF, FIL, IMV. IFNS.org, International Federation of Nematology Societies, IFNS. IFAMA.org, International Food and Agribusiness Management Association, IAMA. ISHAS.org, International Society for Horticultural Science, ISHS. 1769.dk, Kongelig Dansk Landbrugsholdningsselskab, Royal Danish Agricultural Society, in Danish. KLV.nl, Koninklijke Landbouwkundige Vereniging, Royal Society for Agricultural Sciences, Netherlands, in Dutch, KLV. KSLA.se, Koninklijke Skogs och Lantbruksakademiens, Royal Swedish Academy of Agriculture and Forestry, in Swedish and English, KSLA. Leipziger Societaet.de, Leipziger Ökonomische Societät and Aumel, T. Leipzig Economic Society, in German. The society is concerned with economics and agriculture. NAS.edu, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, an academy in India. In English, NAS. NAE.org, National Association of Agricultural Educators, NAAE. NZSAP.org.nz, New Zealand Society of Animal Production, NZAP. OGG.ch, Ökonomische und Gemeinnützige des Kantons Bern, Economic and Public Welfare Society of the Canton of Bern, concerned primarily with agriculture. In German, OG. ONTAWeb.org, Organization of Nematologists of Tropical America, in English and Spanish, ONTA. PSPAonline.com, Philadelphia Society for Promoting Agriculture, PSPA. PoultryScience.org, Poultry Science Association. RAISE.org.uk, Royal Agricultural Society of England, RAISE. RAS.org.nz, Royal Agricultural Society of New Zealand. bathandwest.co.uk, Royal Bath and West of England Society, RBWES. rhas.org.uk, Royal Highland and Agricultural Society of Scotland, RAS. rhs.org.uk, Royal Horticultural Society, RHS. rhsi.ie, Royal Horticultural Society of Ireland, RHSI. royaljersey.co.uk, Royal Jersey Agricultural and Horticultural Society, RJANH. rlas.co.uk, Royal Lancashire Agricultural Society, RLAS. ruas.co.uk, Royal Ulster Agricultural Society, RUAS. rwas.co.uk, Royal Welsh Agricultural Society, RWAS. sach.cl, Sociedad Agronómica de Chile, Agronomical Society of Chile, in Spanish, SACH. Horticulturargentina.org, Sociedad Argentina de Horticultura, Argentine Horticultural Society, in Spanish, SAH. SCCH.info, Sociedad Española de Ciencias Hortícolas, Spanish Society of Horticultural Sciences, in Spanish, SECH. SNA.cl, Sociedad Nacional de Agricultura, National Society of Agriculture, Chile, in Spanish, SNA. Ruralarg.org.ar, Sociedad Rural Argentina, Argentine Agricultural Society, in Spanish. Snagagricultura.org.br, Sociedad Nacional de Agricultura, National Society of Agriculture, Brazil, in Portuguese and English. Agra.ria.lombardia.it, Societe Agraria di Lombardia, Agricultural Society of Lombardy, in Italian. Societaeconomica.com, Societe Economica di Chiavari, Economic Society of Chiavari, in Italian. The society is concerned with agriculture and economics. SWAHS.it, Societe Horticola Italiana, Italian Horticultural Society in Italian and English, SWA. Athene.ch, Société des Arts de Genève, Society of Arts of Geneva, in French. The society, whose headquarters is the Palais de l'Athénée in Geneva, is devoted not only to the fine arts, but to industry, commerce and agriculture as well, SAG. SNHF.asso.fr, Société Nationale de Horticulture de France, National Horticultural Society of France, in French, SNHF. Nematologists.org, Society of Nematologists. Soilassociation.org, Soil Association, a UK organisation concerned with organic food and farming with an emphasis on environmental protection and human health. SASCV.co.za, South African Society for Enology and Viticulture, Suid-Afrikaans Wingerd en Wijnkundevereniging, in English. Devoted to the sciences of winemaking and grape growing, SASAFE. Aerobiology.ch, Swiss Society of Aerobiology, in English. tzob.org.tr, Turkey Zirate Odalar and No. 305, Burley and No. 287, Union of Turkish Chambers of Agriculture in Turkish and English, TZOB. wsweedscience.org, Western Society of Weed Science, WSWS. yas.co.uk, Yorkshire Agricultural Society, YAS. causes.org.cn. Zhenqiunangshuhui. China Association of Agricultural Science Societies, CAS, in Chinese and English, CAS. cos.net.cn. Zhenqiunaungjai, Kixuyua, N, Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences in Chinese and English. Botany associations, organizations and societies. acef.it, Accademia Italiana di Scienze Forestali, Italian Academy of Forest Sciences in Italian and English, AISF. abls.org, American Bryological and Lichenological Society, ABLS. amerfernsoc.org, American Fern Society, AFS, AFS. amsocbotartists.org, American Society of Botanical Artists, ASBA. asbb.org, American Society of Plant Biologists, ASPB. sysbot.org, American Society of Plant Taxonomists, ASPT. apms.org, Aquatic Plant Management Society, Management of Nuisance Aquatic Plants, APMS. Australasian Plant Pathology Society.org.au, Australasian Plant Pathology Society, APS. aih.org.au, Australian Institute of Horticulture. plantsci.org.au, Australian Society of Plant Scientists, ASPS. anbg.gov.au/asbs, Australian Systematic Botany Society, ASBS. Botany.org, Botanical Society of America, BSA. botsocScot.org.uk, Botanical Society of Scotland, BSS. botanicalsociety.org.za, Botanical Society of South Africa, Botaniese Vereniging van SA, in English, BSSA. bsbi.org.uk, Botanical Society of the British Isles, BSBI. British Bryological Society.org.uk, British Bryological Society, BBS. Britmycolsoc.org.uk, British Mycological Society, BMS. brphecsoc.org, British Phycological Society, BPS. bsbp.org.uk, British Society for Plant Pathology, BSPP. blam-ev.de, Bryologisch Lichenologisch Arbeitsgemeinschaft für Mitteleuropa, Bryological/Lichenological Working Group for Middle Europe, in German, BLAM. blwg.nl, Bryologisch and Lichenologisch Werkgroep, Dutch Bryological and Lichenological Society, in Dutch, BLWG. CanadianForestry.com, Canadian Forestry Association, Association Forestière Canadienne, in English and French, CFA, AFC. CPS-SCP.ca, Canadian Phytopathological Society, Société Canadienne de Phytopathologie, in English, CPS, SCP. CSHS.ca, Canadian Society for Horticultural Science, Société Canadienne de Sciences Horticoles, in English. CSPP-SCPV.ca, Canadian Society of Plant Physiologists, Société Canadienne de Physiologie Végétale, in English and French, CSPP, SCPV. CIFAG.cl, Colegio de Ingenieros Forestales de Chile, College of Foresters of Chile, in Spanish, CIF. CFA-INTERNATIONAL.org, Commonwealth Forestry Association, CFA. DEUTSCHE-BOTANISCHE-GESELLSCHAFT.de, Deutsche Botanische Gesellschaft, German Botanical Society, in German. Gartenbauwissenschaft.org, Deutsche Gartenbauwissenschaftliche Gesellschaft, German Society for Horticultural Science, in German. DGFM-EV.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Mycologie, German Mycological Society, in German, DGFM. FESBB.org, Federation of European Societies of Plant Biology, in English, FESP. Horticulture.org.uk, Institute of Horticulture. IASPRR.org, International Association for Sexual Plant Reproduction Research, IASPR. Bryology.org, International Association of Bryologists, IAB. Biology.uio.no/org/IMA, International Mycological Association, Section for General Mycology of the International Union of Biological Societies, IMA. Paleobotany.org, International Organization of Paleobotany. IOPI.org, International Organization for Plant Information, IOPI. IOPB.org, International Organization of Plant Biosystematists, in English, IOPB. INPHEKSOC.org, International Phycological Society, IPS. ISDR.org, International Society for Diatom Research, ISDR. ISBPWeb.org, International Society for Plant Pathology, ISPP. IUFRO.org, International Union of Forestry Research Organizations, IUFRO. KNBV.org, Koninklijke Nederlandse Botanische Vereniging, Royal Botanical Society of the Netherlands, in Dutch and English, KNBV. Mycology.or.kr. Korean Society of Mycology, in Korean and English, KSM. MSAFungi.org, Mycological Society of America. NAMICO.org, North American Mycological Association, NAMA. PSALG.org, Phycological Society of America. REGENSBURGISCHE-BOTANISCHE-GESELLSCHAFT.de, Regensburgische Botanische Gesellschaft, Regensburg Botanical Society, in German. RFS.org.uk, Royal Forestry Society of England, Wales and Northern Ireland, RFS. RHSI.ie, Royal Horticultural Society of Ireland. Bryolich.ch, Schweizerische Vereinigung für Bryologie und Lichenologie, Association Suisse de Bryologie et Lichenologie, Associazione Svizzera de Bryologia e Lichenologia, Associazione Svizzera per la Scienza Mystical e Lichen, Swiss Association of Bryology and Lichenology, in German, French and English, Bryolich, SVBL, ASBL. Horticulturargentina.org, Sociedad Argentina de Horticultura, Argentine Horticultural Society, in Spanish. Socibot.org.mx, Sociedad Botánica de Mexico, Botanical Society of Mexico, in Spanish. SCCH.info, Sociedad Española de Ciencias Hortícolas, Spanish Society of Horticultural Sciences, in Spanish. Briolati.org, Sociedad Latinoamericana de Briologia, Latin American Bryological Society, in Spanish and English. Botanica.org.br, Sociedade Bot and a Cirque, Nica do Brasil, Botanical Society of Brazil, in Portuguese, SBB. SBCF.pt, Sociedade Portuguesa de Ciência e Cirque, Ciências Florestais, Portuguese Society of Forest Sciences, in Portuguese, SPCF. SWAHS.it, Societe Horticola Italiana, Italian Horticultural Society, in Italian and English. SFPV.org, Société Française de Physiologie Végétale, French Society of Plant Physiology, in French, SFPV. Mycofrance.org, Société Mycologique de France, Mycological Society of France, in French. SNHF.asso.fr, Société Nationale de Horticulture de France, National Horticultural Society of France, in French. Econbot.org, Society for Economic Botany. SAFnet.org, Society of American Foresters, SAF. SOC-BOTANICAL-ARTISTS.org, Society of Botanical Artists. SASBP.co.za, Southern African Society for Plant Pathology, in English. For South Africa, and its border countries, i.e. Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, and Swaziland, SASP. Cell Biology, Cytology, and Histology Associations, Organizations and Societies. ASCB.org, American Society for Cell Biology, ASCB. ASHI-HLA.org, American Society for Histocompatibility and Immunogenetics, ASHI. Cytopathology.org, American Society of Cytopathology. CYTOLOGY-ASC.com, Australian Society of Cytology. Clinicalcytology.co.uk, British Society for Clinical Cytology, BSCC. CellTX.org, Cell Transplant Society. Zytology.org, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Zytologie, German Society for Cytology, in German, DGZ. ESACT.org, European Society for Animal Cell Technology. ESACT focuses on the entire animal cell production process from the initial genetic studies of the cells through the stages of process development and validation, production, purification, regulatory issues for product release, to the efficacy, safety, testing, and application of the final product. In English, with some French and German, ESACT. CytologyIndia.com, Indian Academy of Cytologists, in English, IAC. CYTOLOGY-IAC.org, International Academy of Cytology, Académie Internationale de Cytologie, Internationale Académie für Cytologie. Academia Internacional de Cytologia. In English, IAC, AIC, IAZ. UNESCO.org/NGO/ICRO, International Cell Research Organization, Organisation Internationale de Recherche sur la Cellule, in English, ICRO, OIRC. IFCBIOL.org, International Federation for Cell Biology, IFCB. IFPCS.info, International Federation of Pigment Cell Societies, IFPS. ISAC-NET.org, International Society for Analytical Cytology, ISAC. KSMB.or.kr. Korean Society for Molecular and Cellular Biology, in Korean, KSMCB. NAC.org.uk, National Association of Cytologists, based in the United Kingdom, NAC. NSH.org, National Society for Histotechnology, based in the U.S.A., NSH. JSCC.gr.jp. Neon Rinch and number 333, Cyb and number 333, Gakkai, Japanese Society of Clinical Cytology, in Japanese and English, JSCC. Norsit.org, Norsk Forening for Klinisk Cytologi, Norwegian Society of Clinical Cytology, in Norwegian, NFKC. PAPCR.org, Pan American Society for Pigment Cell Research, PASPCR. SAHT.org.uk, Scottish Association for Histotechnology, SAHT. SCCITologia.org, Sociedad Española de Citologia, Spanish Society of Cytology, in Spanish, SEC. Citopatologia.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Cytopatologia, Brazilian Society of Cytopathology, in Portuguese. SIAPEC.it, Societe Italiana di Anatomia Patologica e Citologia Diagnostica, Italian Society of Pathological Anatomy and Diagnostic Cytology, in Italian, SIAPEC. SLTB.info, Society for Low Temperature Biology. Cytology.org.hk. Xiangang Xi, Bio Suohui. Hong Kong Society of Cytology, in English, HKSC. Genetics and Evolution Associations, Organizations, and Societies. ABMG.org, American Board of Medical Genetics, ABMG. ACMG.net, American College of Medical Genetics, ACMG. ASHG.org, American Society of Human Genetics, ASHG. BGA.org, Behavior Genetics Association. BESHG.be, Belgisch Vereniging voor Menselijke Genetiek, Société Belgique de Génétique Humaine, Belgian Society of Human Genetics, in Dutch, French and English, BSHG. BSHG.org.uk, British Society for Human Genetics, BSHG. DSMG.dk, Dansk Selskab for Medicinsk Genetiek, Danish Society for Medical Genetics, in Danish, DSMG. GFHEV.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Humangenetik, German Society for Human Genetics, in German, GFH. SAB.org, European Society for Evolutionary Biology, in English, ESEB. SG.org, European Society of Human Genetics, ESHG. Genetics.org.uk, Genetical Society, also known as the UK Genetical Society and the Genetics Society. GENETICS-GSA.org, Genetics Society of America. kgenetics.or.kr. 54620, and number 44397, and number 50976, and number 51204, and number 54617, and number 54924. Genetics Society of Korea, in Korean. HBES.com, Human Behavior and Evolution Society, HBES. ISHG.org, Indian Society of Human Genetics, in English, ISHG. IBNGS.org, International Behavioral and Neural Genetics Society, IBANGS. IFHGS.org, International Federation of Human Genetics Societies, IFHGS. GenePi.org, International Genetic Epidemiology Society, IGES. Intergenetics.org, International Genetics Federation. The International Genetics Federation is the section of genetics of the International Union of Biological Sciences, IGF. Medicalgenetics.or.kr. Korean Society of Medical Genetics, in Korean and English, KSMG. SSGM.ch, Schweizerische Gesellschaft für medizinische Genetik, Société Suisse de Génétique Médicale, Société Svizzera de Genetica Medica, Swiss Society of Medical Genetics, in German, French and English, SGMG, SSGM. SAG.org.ar, Sociedad Argentina de Genetica, Argentine Society of Genetics, in Spanish. Sochigen.cl, Sociedad de Genetica de Chile, Genetics Society of Chile, in Spanish, SGC. SBG.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Genetica, Brazilian Society of Genetics, in Portuguese, SBG. SBGH.net, Sociedade Portuguesa de Genetica Humana, Portuguese Society of Human Genetics, in Portuguese, SPGH. SIGU.net, Societe Italiana di Genetica Umana, Italian Society of Human Genetics, in Italian, SIGU. sfgenetic.org, Société Française de Génétique, French Society of Genetics, in French, SFG. sftg.org, Société Française de Toxicologie Génétique, French Society of Genetic Toxicology, in French and English, SFTG. smbe.org, Society for Molecular Biology and Evolution, SMBE. sigevio.org, Special Interest Group for Genetic and Evolutionary Computation. Microbiology, Bacteriology, and Virology Associations, Organizations and Societies. ASMSA.org, American Society for Microbiology. aam.org.ar, Asociación Argentina de Microbiología, Argentine Asociación of Microbiology, in Spanish, AAM. Genotobiotics.org, Association for Gnotobiotics, field of germ-free research or, more specifically, the science involved with maintaining a microbiologically controlled environment and with the biological knowledge necessary to obtain and use biological specimens in this environment. AMM.co.uk, Association of Medical Microbiologists, a professional body for the United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland, AM. AMCLE.it, Associazione Microbiologi Clinici Italiani, Italian Association for Clinical Microbiology, in Italian, amically. Theasm.com.au, Australian Society for Microbiology. Belzocmicrobio.be, Belgisch Vereniging voor Microbiologie, Société Belgique de Microbiologie, Belgian Society for Microbiology, in Dutch, French and English, BSM. BritishInfectionSociety.org, British Infection Society, BIS. bsac.org.uk, British Society for Antimicrobial Chemotherapy, BSAC. csm-scm.org, Canadian Society of Microbiologists, Société Canadienne des Microbiologistes, in English and French, CSM, SCM. dghm.org, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Hygiene und Microbiologie, German Society for Hygiene and Microbiology, in German, DGHM. dvv-ev.de, Deutsche Vereinigung zur Bekämpfung der Viruskrankheiten, German Association Against Virus Diseases, in German and English, DVV. escmid.org, European Society of Clinical Microbiology and Infectious Diseases, ESCMID. escv.org, European Society for Clinical Virology, in English, ESCV. fems-microbiology.org, Federation of European Microbiological Societies, in English. g-f-v.org, Gesellschaft für Virologie, Society for Virology, in German, GFV. iapm.net, Indian Association of Pathologists and Microbiologists, in English, IAPM. isar-icar.com, International Society for Antiviral Research, ICAR, International Conference for Antiviral Research, which is sponsored by ISAR, ISAR. isnv.org, International Society for Neurovirology, ISNV. ischemo.org, International Society of Chemotherapy, International Society of Chemotherapy, Infection and Cancer, ISC. EAMS.org, International Union of Microbiological Societies, Union Internationale des Sociétés de Microbiologie, in English, IUMS, UISM. msk.or.kr. Microbiological Society of Korea, in Korean and English. nzms.org.nz, New Zealand Microbiological Society, NZMS. Virology.org, Pan American Society for Clinical Virology, PASCV. peacemid.org.ph, Philippine Society for Microbiology and Infectious Diseases, in English, PSMID. sginf.ch, Schweizerische Gesellschaft für Infektiologie, Société Suisse d'Infectiologie, Société Svizzera de Maladies Infectives, Swiss Society for Infectious Diseases, in German, French and English, SSI. SOCINF.cl, Sociedad Chilena de Infectología, Chilean Society of Infectious Diseases, in Spanish, SOCINF. SVIinfectología.org, Sociedad Venezolana de Infectología, Venezuelan Society of Infectious Diseases, in Spanish, SVI. sbmicrobiologia.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Microbiologia, Brazilian Society of Microbiology, in Portuguese. sbv.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Virologia, Brazilian Society of Virology, in Portuguese, SBV. siv-virologia.it, Société Italiana di Virologia, Italian Society of Virology, in Italian, SIV. sfm.asso.fr, Société Française de Microbiologie, French Society for Microbiology, in French and English, SFM. socigenmicrobiol.org.uk, Society for General Microbiology, SGM. vaam.de, Vereinigung für Allgemeine und Angewandte Mikrobiologie, Union for General and Applied Microbiology, in German, VAAM. Molecular Biology Associations, Organizations, and Societies. ampweb.org, Association for Molecular Pathology, AMP. bsbr.org, British Society for Proteome Research, BSPR. aesociety.org, Electrophoresis Society. embo.org, European Molecular Biology Organization, EMBO. aesociety.org, Electrophoresis Society. asbmb.org, American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. biochimica.it, Societe. biochemy.org, Biochemisk Forening, Danish Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. csbmcb.ca, Canadian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular and AMP. embo.org, European Molecular Biology Organization. gbm-online.de, Gesellschaft f and UML, R Biochemie und Molekularbiologie, Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. iubmb.org, International Union of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. ksmb.or.kr. mebc.lt.hu/mebc, International Society for Molecular Electronics and Biocomputing. sci.org.ar, Sociedad Argentina de Investigación and Ocult, en Biocuandiacute, MICA y. Biologandiacute, a molecular, Argentine Society for Biochemical and Molecular Biology Research. sbbq.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Biocuandiacute, MICA e Biologia Molecular, Brazilian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. scqc.es, Sociedad Espa and Tilde, Ola de Biocuandiacute, MICA cl and Diacute, NICAY. Patologandiacute, a molecular, Spanish Society of Clinical Biochemistry and Molecular Pathology. cibioc.it. smbe.org, Society for Molecular Biology and Evolution. vlib.org/biosciences.html. Virtual Library, Biosciences. Soil Science Associations, Organizations, and Societies. Suelos.org.ar, Asociación Argentina de la Ciencia del Suelo, Argentine Association of Soil Science, in Spanish, AACS. aip-suoli.it, Associazione Italiana Pedologi, Association of Italian Pedologists, in Italian and English. Concerned with soil science. assi.asn.au, Australian Society of Soil Science, ASSI. Soils.org.uk, British Society of Soil Science, BSSS, BSN Sub 3. CSSS.ca, Canadian Society of Soil Science, Société Canadienne de la Science du Sol, in English, CSSS, SCSS. dbges.de, Deutsche Bodenkundliche Gesellschaft, German Soil Science Society, in German. ISSMGE.org, International Society of Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering, Société Internationale de Mécanique des Sols et de la Géotechnique. IUSS.org, International Union of Soil Sciences, Union Internationale de la Science du Sol, International Bodenkundliche Union, Union Internationale de la Ciencia del Suelo, in English, IUSS, UISS, IBU, UICS. E-MSSS.com, Persatuan Sains Tanah Malaysia, Malaysian Society of Soil Science, in English, MSSS. SMMS.org.mx, Sociedad Mexicana de Mecánica de Suelos, Mexican Society of Soil Mechanics, in Spanish, SMMS. SVCs.org.ve, Sociedad Venezolana de la Ciencia del Suelo, Venezuelan Society of Soil Science, in Spanish, SVCs. SWCS.org, Soil and Water Conservation Society, SWCS. Soils.org, Soil Science Society of America, SSSA. Water Science, Hydrology and Oceanology Associations, Organizations and Societies. AIHydro.org, American Institute of Hydrology. AWRA.org, American Water Resources Association, AWRA. Abridgedh.org.br, Associação Brasileira de Recursos Hídricos, Brazilian Association for Water Resources, in Portuguese, ABRH. AppliedHydrology.org, Association of Hydrologists of India, in English, AHI. AMOS.org.au, Australian Meteorological and Oceanographic Society. Hydrology.org.uk, British Hydrological Society, BHS. Hydrographicsociety.org, Hydrographic Society. EAS.info, International Association of Hydrological Sciences, Association Internationale des Sciences Hydrologiques, IAHS, AISH. KWRA.or.kr. Korea Water Resources Association, in Korean, KWRA. HydrologyNZ.org.nz, New Zealand Hydrological Society, NZHS. TOS.org, Oceanography Society, OS. UCOWR.siu.edu, Universities Council on Water Resources, DOCAR. WSTA-GCC.org. Water Science and Technology Association, in Arabic and English. Concerned with water science and technology in the Arabian Gulf region, namely the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, countries, WSTA. Zoology associations, organizations, and societies. ent.iastate.edu/list/societies.html, Entomology Index of Internet Resources, Societies, maintained by the Entomology Department at Iowa State University. Fisheries.org, American Fisheries Society. ACIH.org, American Society of Ichthyologists and Herpetologists, ASIH. ASP.org, American Society of Primatologists. Animalbehavior.org, Animal Behavior Society, Animal Behavior Society, ABS. Arages.de, Arachnologische Gesellschaft, Arachnological Society, in German. Includes German-speaking arachnologists from Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, ARAGES. Trollep.org, Association for Tropical Lepidoptera, ATL. AustralianMammals.org.au, Australian Mammal Society. Dragonfliesoc.org.uk, British Dragonfly Society, BDS. Colopsoc.org, Coleopterists Society. Cooper.org, Cooper Ornithological Society, COS. DGAAE.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Allgemeine und Angewandte Entomologie, German Society for General and Applied Entomology, in German and English, DGAT. DZG-EV.de, Deutsche Zoologische Gesellschaft, German Zoological Society, in German, DZG. ENTSOC.org, Entomological Society of America. ESC-SEC.org, Entomological Society of Canada, Société d'Entomologie du Canada, in English and French, ESC, SEC. Entomology.org.il, Entomological Society of Israel, in English. ENTSOCONT.com, Entomological Society of Ontario, ESO. APOLLO-FRANKFURT.de, Entomologischer Verein Apollo, Apollo Entomological Association, in German, with some English. Based in Frankfurt am Main, EVA. IBRA.org.uk, International Bee Research Association, IBRA. nhm.ac.uk/hosted_sites/EBA, International Bryozoology Association. ICZN.org, International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature. The Commission is under the auspices of the International Union of Biological Sciences, IUBS, ICZN. ICLAS.org, International Council for Laboratory Animal Science, ICLAS. IUSSI.org, International Union for the Study of Social Insects, Union Internationale pour l'étude des insectes sociaux, in English, IASE, UIAS. ENTOMOLOGY-IEV.de, Internationaler Entomologischer Verein, International Entomological Union, in German and English, IEV. Zoantwerpen.be, Koninklijke Maatschappij voor Dierkunde van Antwerpen, Royal Zoological Society of Antwerp, in Dutch, KMDA. Entomology.or.kr. 54620, and number 44397, and number 51025, and number 50857, and number 44260, and number 52649, and number 54617, and number 54924. Korean Society of Applied Entomology, in Korean and English, KSAE. ONTAWeb.org, Organization of Nematologists of Tropical America, Organización de Nematólogos de los Trópicos Americanos, in English and Spanish. roynsoc.co.uk, Royal Entomological Society, Res. sve.org.ve, Sociedad Venezolana de Entomología, Venezuelan Society of Entomology, in Spanish, SAVE. seb.org.br, Sociedade Entomológica do Brasil, Entomological Society of Brazil, in Portuguese. Socentomit.it, Societe Entomologica Italiana, Italian Entomological Society, in Italian, SEI. Lasef.org, Société Entomologique de France, Entomological Society of France, in French, SEF. kbinirSnb.be/srbe/page1.htm, Société Royale Belgique d'Entomologie, Koninklijke Belgische Vereniging voor Entomologie, Royal Belgian Entomological Society, in French, Dutch and English, SRBE. webhost.ua.ac.be/rbzs, Société Royale Zoologique de Belgique, Koninklijke Belgische Vereniging voor Dierkunde, Royal Belgian Zoological Society, mostly in English, with some French and Dutch, SRZB, KBVD. SSARHerps.org, Society for the Study of Amphibians and Reptiles, SSAR. Scamit.org, Southern California Association of Marine Invertebrate Taxonomists, SCAMIT. zsk.or.kr. Zoological Society of Korea, in Korean, ZSK. zsl.org, Zoological Society of London, ZSL. zsbk.com, Zoological Society of Pakistan, in English, ZSP.